Conflict is... This presentation will explore key...
One of the primary reasons communication can cause conflict within groups is the inherent complexity. One psychological concept relevant to communication and conflict is confirmation bias.
So let's explore some key features of virtual teams and what makes them unique. Firstly, geographical dispersion sets them apart, with team members scattered across different locations. There is limited face-to-face interaction, creating unique communication challenges. Technical glitches, misinterpretations, and information overload become hurdles that virtual groups must overcome. Virtual teams embrace diversity, encompassing members from various educational, cultural, and employment backgrounds. Navigating these differences becomes even more crucial in an online environment. Building relationships and trust in virtual teams can be challenging, as face-to-face interactions are limited, yet collaboration is required in most roles. Lastly, virtual teams require a level of independence and self-management. Each member must be self-motivated, disciplined, and productive in their roles to meet the goals and objectives of their role and organisation. Understanding these unique aspects of virtual teams is essential for comprehending conflict within them. By recognizing and addressing these challenges head-on, we can foster constructive conflict resolution, enhance communication, and cultivate successful virtual team dynamics. In order to highlight conflict management strategies, we first need to identify the key factors that contribute to conflict in virtual teams. Communication challenges is a major source of conflict in virtual teams. Language barriers, misunderstandings of written information, and a lack of non-verbal indicators contribute to conflict. Limited social interaction can hinder relationship building and contribute to misunderstandings. When compared to face-to-face environments, virtual teams may have fewer opportunities for social engagement. The lack of casual chats, informal bonding, and non-work related contacts may hinder relationship development, perhaps leading to disagreements and misunderstandings. Lack of trust. Establishing and retaining trust in virtual teams can be difficult. Building trust amongst team members might be difficult due to a lack of physical presence and again non-verbal cues. Trust deficits can lead to mistrust, doubt, and team conflicts. Power imbalance, where conflict can be aggravated by power relations amongst virtual teams, is also common. Power struggles and conflicts amongst team members can result from unequal distribution of decision-making authority, resources, or perceived status. This also leads to perceived inequality in the workload distribution, lack of recognition, or resource access can lead to conflict amongst virtual teams. This further contributes to differences and perceptions of fairness and can cause conflict and disputes. By addressing these factors head-on, we can enhance communication, build trust, balance power dynamics, and ensure fairness. Let's explore strategies to maintain conflict and foster a harmonious virtual team environment. Social identity approaches facilitate conflict management in virtual teams through various strategies, encouraging team members to share common goals, values, and experiences to foster a collective identity, emphasize teamwork, and establish a sense of collectiveness to strengthen bonds within the group, can build cohesion and collaboration, minimizing conflicts and addressing perceived inequities by ensuring fairness in workload distribution, recognition, transparent processes, open dialogue, and equal resources allocation can ensure fairness, creating spaces for relationship building beyond work tasks by providing opportunities for informal conversations, team building activities, and fostering a supportive atmosphere can increase social interaction. Fostering an environment that allows for equal participation and fair decision-making processes by encouraging open dialogue and providing opportunities for all participants to express their perspectives can address power imbalances. Strengthening the sense of identity and pride within the virtual team by recognizing and celebrating individual and collective achievements can form shared social identities. It is also worth noting that the dual concern model framework for conflict resolution is relevant here, looking at the individual and the concerns and interests of others. By implementing these strategies, we can create cohesion, collaboration, and a sense of belonging within virtual teams. Google relies heavily on virtual teams to fulfill its goals as a global organization. Google employs a variety of organizational psychology strategies and practices to ensure the success of its virtual teams. Google's People Innovation Lab undertook a 2-year study from 2019 to determine what factors contribute to the success of their virtual teams across the globe, studying more than 3,000 virtual employees and their teams. Their research highlights key factors that contribute to successful virtual teams and reduces conflict within Google. Google's study found that to promote successful remote teamwork, Google prioritizes excellent communication, trust, inclusion, and work-life integration. Google seeks to create an atmosphere where virtual teams may thrive and achieve their goals by using digital tools, cultivating a supportive culture, and emphasizing the significance of connectivity, demonstrating that the use of social identity theory and strategic planning can build successful teams and reduce conflict.
Look at exploring conflict in culturally diverse teams. Diversity can be described as differences in psychological characteristics that stem from personalities, beliefs, attitudes, and values. Cultural diversity can be considered a dividend. When leveraged effectively, it can have an impact on financial and psychological outcomes that can improve an organizational performance. The diversity dividend, though, is a double-edged sword. Positive connotations due to cognitive variety and divergent thinking, and negative connotations due to social categorization and potential miscommunication and conflict. Hofstede Cultural Dimensions, a 6 dimensions framework that is used to understand the differences in culture across countries. Key features of a culturally diverse team includes culturally diverse groups, which include different backgrounds, races, nationalities, languages, religions, and worldviews. Diversity also has the intersection of disability and sexual orientations and gender identity. Due to multicultural global workplaces, culturally diverse teams may be working in the same country or workplace, or working in virtual teams across geographic dispersion. Cognitive complexity, goal orientation, dissimilarity, openness, tolerance for ambiguity and emotion, and conflict management skills are key. Cultural intelligence is understanding, recognizing, and manages our responses to cultural diversity. Brief look at cultural diversity through a case study of an American-German merger. In 1998, there was a major merger between German Daimler-Benz and the American Chrysler Corporation. The cross-cultural differences between the two countries and the two groups, both at a leadership level and within staffing and management, had huge implications. Both companies shared a profit margin of about $36 billion, and after 9 years of their collaboration, they were only worth $7.4 billion. These differences in the cultural dimensions were also impacted by the cultural difference in corporate structures, company culture, value chains, customer proposition, and approaches to research and development. This led to significant communication breakdown at both the leadership and management levels and deepened a critical divide between the American and German companies. Cultural dimensions to analyse the American-German merger. The biggest difference here is the orientation. The German cohort were highly focused on long-term outcomes of the merger, focused on innovation and research and development. Their American counterparts were focused on marketing and sales, opting for quicker wins. These were also influenced by ethnocentrism, which is a positive orientation towards those sharing the same ethnicity as one's own, and attitude behavior theory, where the mental status of a human being which represents the emotions based on the person's feelings at given one time and how that controls their instantaneous behavior. Differences are not just a contributor to conflict, but also influence how the conflict is managed. These dimensions influence the conflict handling styles. The German cohort took an avoiding approach, and the American cohort took a more dominating approach. Also, in virtual teams, there are more avoiding conflict handling styles, and these emerge due to the low social interactions and issues of trust within the intergroup dynamics. The most optimum conflict handling styles are the compromising and problem-solving domains, where one's concerns about the outcome of others is just as significant about their concerns of outcomes for themselves. This is also referred to seeking a win-win outcome. Conflict resolution model is the actualizing social and personal identity resources model. In this ASPIRE model, there is a social identity approach to negotiations of multi-group organizational contexts known as supercasing. This approach involves different subgroups within the multi-group organization meeting to discuss, evaluate, and negotiate a mutually beneficial solution to a problem to achieve a desired outcome. The process draws on the high salience of the subgroup identity or concern for goals of the subgroup and the high salience of superordinate identity, the higher concerns for shared goals. In organizational practice, supercasing often looks different to generic work meetings as they are brought together to discuss a shared goal.
Active listening is crucial when considering communication and conflict. Active listening.
There are key leadership strategies for conflict resolution. Group leaders and managers should monitor group dynamics closely to ensure the group members feel a sense of shared social identity, belonging to the in-group, and individual members' attitudes are consistent with each other. Effective group dynamics affect organizational performance by shaping productivity and performance, which can lead to improved working environments and a positive organizational culture for all. Here we have 4 strategies, which is including of effective leadership styles and behaviours to monitor intergroup dynamics, encourage and monitor workforce cultural intelligence and emotional intelligence, encourage epistemic motivation, which is someone's willingness and ability to learn flexibly from these group experiences, and employ conflict resolutions such as those seen in the ASPIRE model.
Key takeaways from our presentation include that communication is a key factor in conflict. Language barriers, communication styles, and proficiency levels impact effective group communication. Communication and conflict presents differently in virtual teams and culturally diverse groups and may require different responses. Communication is a key driver in harmonious virtual groups and can impact relationship building, cohesion and collaboration, and establishing intergroup norms and identity. Strategies to manage and resolve conflict can be implemented at intergroup level and leadership level. Conflict can be a source of learning to strengthen group dynamics if resolved effectively.